Hello, my name is Jen, and I'm one of the librarians at the Malden Public Library. Welcome to the fourth installment of our weekly book review series, 5 and 5, where we share 5 books that focus on one topic or genre in 5 minutes. Today, I will be focusing on my personal favorite, mysteries and thrillers. You can check out a link in the description to request any of the books I discussed today from the library. The first book I want to recommend is Bluebird, Bluebird by Attica Locke. When it comes to law and order, East Texas plays by its own rules, a fact that Darren Matthews, a Black Texas Ranger, knows all too well. Deeply ambivalent about growing up Black in the Lone Star State, he was the first in his family to get as far away from Texas as he could, until duty called him home. When his allegiance to his roots put his job in jeopardy, he travels up Highway 59 to the small town of Lark, where 2 murders, a Black lawyer from Chicago and a local white woman, have stirred up a hornet's nest of resentment. Darren must solve the crimes and save himself in the process before Lark's long simmering racial fault lines erupt. My second book is The Last Place You Look by Kristen Lepionka. Nobody knows what happened to Sarah Cook. The beautiful blonde teenager disappeared 15 years ago, the same night her parents were brutally murdered in their suburban Ohio home. Her boyfriend, Brad Stockton, Black and from the wrong side of the tracks, was convicted of the murders and is now on death row. His execution is only weeks away, and his devoted sister insists she spied Sarah at an area gas station. Willing to try anything, she hires PI Roxanne Weary to look at the case and see if she can locate Sarah. The stakes get higher as Roxanne discovers Sarah may not be the only teenager who's turned up missing or dead. Roxanne will have to risk everything to find the truth. My third book is The Missing American by Quay Corte. When her dreams of rising through the Accra police ranks crash around her, 26-year-old Emma Jan is unsure with what will become of her career. Through a sympathetic former colleague, Emma gets an interview with a private detective agency that takes on cases of missing persons, theft, and infidelity. It's not the future she imagined, but it's her best option. Meanwhile, Gordon Tilson, a middle-aged widower in Washington, D.C., has found solace in an online community after his wife's passing. Through the support group, he's even met a young Ghanaian widow he's come to care about. When her sister gets into a car accident, he sends her thousands of dollars to cover the hospital bill, to the horror of his only son, Derek. Then Gordon decides to surprise his new love by paying her a visit and disappears. Fearing for his father's life, Derek follows him across the world to Ghana, where he and Emma will find themselves deep in a world of Sakawa scams, fetish priests, and those willing to kill to protect their secrets. My fourth book is Magpie Murders by Anthony Horowitz. After working with best-selling crime writer Alan Conway for years, editor Susan Ryland is intimately familiar with his detective Atticus Pund, who solves mysteries in sleepy English villages. His traditional formula has proved hugely successful. So successful that Susan must continue to put up with his troubling behavior if she wants to keep her job. Conway's latest tale involves a murder at Pye Hall, with dead bodies and a host of intriguing suspects. But the more Susan reads, the more she's convinced that there is another story hidden in the pages of the manuscript. One of real-life jealousy, ruthless ambition, and murder. My fifth book is Daisy in Chains by Sharon Bolton. He's a serial killer, a murderer of young women, all killed in brutal attacks. But despite Hamish Wolf's conviction, he's always stuck to his story that he's innocent and he's been wrongly imprisoned. And now he wants someone to investigate and, more importantly, write his story. Maggie Rose is a notorious defense attorney and writer whose specialty is getting convictions overturned. At first, Maggie is reluctant to even acknowledge Hamish's requests to meet, ignoring his letters. But this is a very charismatic and persuasive man, good-looking and intelligent. Eventually, even she can't resist his lure. I hope you enjoyed this video, and remember to check the description for a link to request these books from the library. Thank you so much for joining us, and hope to see you next week for 5 more recommendations.